Welcome back to the series The War of 1812, and today's episode, Episode 5, The British Offensive. As we continue our exploration of this pivotal conflict, we find ourselves in the year 1814, a time when the British were determined to launch a decisive campaign against the Americans. The end of the Napoleonic Wars in Europe had freed up significant British resources, allowing them to focus their attention on the war with America. With their powerful navy and experienced army, the British were confident that they could deliver a crushing blow to the American forces. One of the key strategies employed by the British was to attack the American coast, hoping to draw troops away from the Canadian border and create an opportunity for a decisive victory. One of the most significant events of this period was the burning of Washington, D.C., which took place on August 24-25, 1814. The British Army, led by General Robert Ross, marched into the city and set fire to several buildings, including the White House, the Capitol, and other government structures. This event was a major embarrassment for the American government and a significant blow to national morale. However, the British victory was short-lived, as they soon found themselves facing stiff resistance from the American forces at the Battle of Baltimore. The battle took place on September 12-14, 1814, and saw the British Army attempting to capture the city of Baltimore, which was a crucial port and commercial center. The Americans, led by General Samuel Smith, were able to repel the British attack, and the invaders were forced to retreat. The Battle of Baltimore was significant not only for its military outcome, but also for its cultural impact. It was during this battle that Francis Scott Key, an American lawyer and poet, wrote the famous poem Defense of Fort McHenry, which would later become the lyrics to the Star-Spangled Banner, the national anthem of the United States. As we explore the British offensive in 1814, it becomes clear that the war was not just about military victories or defeats, but also about the struggle for control of the seas. The British Navy, with its superior ships and experienced sailors, had long dominated the oceans. But the Americans were determined to challenge this dominance. One of the key figures in this effort was Thomas Macdonough, an American naval officer who played a crucial role in the Battle of Lake Champlain. The battle took place on September 11, 1814, and saw the American fleet, led by Macdonough, clashing with the British fleet on Lake Champlain. The Americans were able to gain the upper hand thanks to their clever tactics and bravery, and the British were forced to retreat. This victory was significant not only for its military outcome, but also for its impact on the larger war effort. The northern frontier, which had been a key battleground throughout the war, continued to be a major focus of attention in 1814. The British, with their Native American allies, launched a series of attacks against American forts and settlements, hoping to drive the Americans out of the region. However, the Americans were able to hold their ground, thanks to the bravery and determination of their soldiers. As we look back on the events of 1814, it becomes clear that this was a pivotal year in the War of 1812. The British offensive, with its burning of Washington and attacks on American coastal cities, marked a significant turning point in the conflict. However, the Americans were able to respond to these challenges, thanks to their bravery and determination, and ultimately emerged victorious. That's all for today. Join us next time on History with Herodotus, as we continue our series on the War of 1812 with Episode 6, The Northern Frontier.